how far he can throw it, if indeed he throws it, or they try a lateral or whatever here. Meanwhile, he just tries to get away from everybody, throws it into the end zone, into a lot of traffic, and there's a pick on the other side. And coming back from the end zone is Holland, and Holland is at the midfield, and Holland is inside the 40, and Holland is inside the 20. Can you believe this? More than at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator because the play here, and then
I made that clip. I had to get some mileage out of it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm Chance Ellison. Welcome back to Left Side, Strong Side. My co-hosts are back, Mike Deacon and Jacob London. And joining us, first time, he was on our draft stream, first time on the actual show, Lando Payne. Lando, thank you so much for being here.
What's poppin'? Glad to be here.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the actual NFL news, I do want to take some time to look to the college ranks. We did get word about the college football playoffs that are going to be taking place. So the college football playoffs will be now between Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama. The reason it's such a big deal is because for the first time, an undefeated champ from one of the Big Five conferences was left out. Florida State went 12-0 in the season, won the ACC, and they were axed from the college football playoffs. And no one can seem to explain why.
They were the committee. I will give the committee a little bit of a break in that no matter what they did was going to be unprecedented.
Yeah,
like no matter what they did, they were going to have done something for the first time ever, because either an SEC team was going to miss out, or an undefeated team was going to miss out, or hell, Texas was also going to miss out. It was because they wanted to fit Georgia in somehow. So I understand there was an impossible decision here. They still somehow made the wrong one. 100% Florida State deserved to be in. What more could they have done? Literally, what more could they have done?
Yeah, and a lot of speculation that they lost their starting quarterback in the ACC championship, which, granted, I don't know how it would have gone in the college football playoffs, but at least give them a shot. Again, even if you hate FSU, unless you're Bethany. So 99% of the time, unless you hate FSU, this is a monumental screw job to them. They got hoed in this deal. Fucking sucks.
100%. It's tough, looking at this as objectively as possible. Jacob said it exactly right. What else could they have done? Just because they lost their quarterback. And I saw people today comparing it to Jacksonville right now. It's Jacksonville lost Trevor Lawrence, so they shouldn't make the playoffs. It's a fair comparison. With the way it is, I hate anything when it comes to the Olympics and stuff. I hate anything that is out of the competitor's hands. I'm going to throw a random example out from years ago. It was figure skating. Nancy Kerrigan and Oksana Bayul. Oksana Bayul screwed up her routine and then came back and did a crazy jump that, even though she messed up, they wound up putting her above Kerrigan, who was perfect. And when you have a situation that.
Look, in Oksana's defense, she had both kneecaps, so that goes in her favor.
But it's a fair comparison, because Kerrigan was perfect and Bayul had a glaring mistake, but then did something at the end that threw her over the top, and it was unfortunate for her in that regard. I always prefer the NFL. There are defined parameters for making the playoffs. It's like a track and field. The fastest person wins. I always like something like that, as opposed to something that is being judged for whatever reason it's being judged or evaluated, because it's clear cut. And it really does suck for Florida State in that regard, because they did. They earned it.
They did. So Seminoles, I do apologize. Even my friends who are FSU alums, I do apologize, because this is truly and massively fucked up. Moving on to our actual NFL.
The best,
football.
the best comparison. Sorry, the best comparison. You mentioned the Jacksonville game. You know what the best one I've heard? Sorry, Eagles. Carson Wentz went down. We can't have you make the playoffs. You're robbing us of that potential.
Mm-hmm.
You're robbing us of that. Like, could you imagine that? Hey, Eagles, you don't get to win your first ever Super Bowl because you don't have your quarterback. They proved it. You're robbing us of that potential. There are two. Here's the two scenarios that are going to happen on when these games are playing. There's one that the committee is praying for, and there is one that the committee is fucking terrified of, and that is Alabama annihilates Michigan, just absolutely destroys them, and everyone goes, "There we go." It was, and Georgia destroys FSU. And then it's like, well, they made the right choice. Like like that'll be the response.
I didn't have much to add to this. I'm not tracking the college football scene too much, but I did hear that, FSU undefeated didn't make it into the college football playoffs, whereas like Alabama lost, right? So I can definitely see that being an issue. I didn't have much to say on it.
Two of the teams who were in the playoffs lost games in the regular season. Texas lost the game, and Alabama lost the game.
Yeah, that's wild. That's one of the biggest. A few years ago, I decided I was going to get into college football. Like growing up in Maryland, for the early parts of my life, no one was rooting for the Terrapins. Now they are.
Right.
But back in the day, we weren't. So I didn't get into the college football game. But now that I moved to Charleston, South Carolina, it's a huge football town. So I was like, let me get into it. I never understood the college playoff thing. And that was one of the biggest drawbacks for me to really get into it. Because if I can't understand how this thing works out, then why even get bothered? So as an outsider looking in, the whole college football program, playoff program or system that they use, it needs to be fixed. Because now that you have things like this happening, if a team's undefeated, they should be in.
Well, the thing is, this is now going to get fixed next year. Like next year, they're expanding from 4 teams to 12 teams. So, in theory, this should not happen again. Although, the CFBS, somehow they're going to fuck this up. Like it's inevitable at this point. But yeah, pour one out for FSU. And if you haven't, go watch the video of them reacting and not making the playoffs.
Devastating.
Yeah, the looks on their face are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's
heartbreaking.
Moving on to the actual NFL. Thursday night football, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and this is a rarity in today's world. We actually had a really good Thursday night football game.
Yeah, Thursday night football was fun. I very much enjoyed watching this game.
Yeah, mostly because Seattle in this game came out swinging. This is probably the most inspired I can start a game and possibly play all season. DK Metcalf was a man on a mission. Actually, he's now recorded the fastest speed of any player in the league this year. That's crazy considering he's a 245-pound receiver. But on the other hand, though, someone else is playing on a mission. Dallas, and Dak Prescott specifically. I'm not sure what exactly happened with Dak Prescott, but he's playing like a man possessed. He's playing really well. I don't like Dak Prescott particularly, but he is playing
borderline. Yeah, he's borderline in the MVP conversation. I don't know if he's quite there, but if you're talking 5 players, he's in that conversation, I think.
I mean, okay. So if you don't know, I'm a huge Eagles fan, right? So I've been riding out Dirty Birds the whole time. Now, This game was really, really good. The Cowboys look really, really good. Dak Prescott is playing superior than a lot of other quarterbacks in the game right now. He is really showing how to play the quarterback position, and it pains me. It really pains me to give the Cowboys any kind of credit at anything. But him and CeeDee Lamb have definitely found their connection.
That's what I was about to say. CeeDee Lamb is Like CeeDee Lamb is that top level.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is now in that elite conversation. The same way we were talking about AJ Brown a few weeks back. CeeDee Lamb is in there with Debo. We all understand that, but the Cowboys offense has been playing lights out. Defense is, of course, being steady. The Seahawks look good, though. Like the thing is, to me, the Seahawks, they're right there they're teeter-tottering. If the Eagles had lucky games where they barely scathed by, I feel like the Seahawks are that, except in the negative. Like, they're right there, but they just lose those games. They lose those 3 games. I could easily see this team have winning a few more games, right? I don't think that their record defines to how good that they are. But this was a very great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I didn't expect it to be, 38, 4, what was it?
41-35.
41-35. I didn't expect it to be like that. And it shows that the Seahawks definitely can do the work, right? And shout out to Geno Smith, too, for being where he was a few years ago to where he is now.
Yeah.
He's been killing it. Right?
Like, I never expected to see Seattle be able to get into a shootout with a team like Dallas at this point.
And you got DK. You got DK.
Excellent.
Yeah, and you was just saying that DK's over here breaking the 40-yard sprint record, whatever it is. But yeah, when you have DK, you let him lose, and DK's actually starting to become his own. And I think that's the thing to watch. The thing to watch is I think over the next few years you're going to start to see DK break off. And
I mean, I think he's already at that point. I think people acknowledge, well, not Jacob, but everybody else acknowledges that DK is one of the best receivers in the NFL right now.
I acknowledge that now. Thank you very much. I realized I fucked up.
Well, I don't think it's that much when you have other wide receivers like Tyreek and Debo and CD and AJ. Like you have all these guys here at the top. It's a lot harder to break through that. Where I would say the opposite is there for the running back position. You just have C-Mac, right, just leading the way with that.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that it's good for DK finally start to get those mentions. And I think that now that the Seahawks have got their guy, you're going to start to see his name a whole lot more.
So, Mike, you said that I'm just going to talk about, because I thought Seahawks play well, but I just want to talk about the Cowboys here. Mike, you said Dak was in the MVP conversation. This Sunday is the MVP. This Sunday is win, and you're the MVP. It is down to, unless, look, I don't think it's Brock Purdy. I just straight up don't anymore. I don't know how you can do it. I don't know how you can give it to Brock Purdy. I think it's between Purdy. I think it's between Dak and Hurts at this point.
I think you're missing Tyreek. Tyreek is having.
I just cannot see them not give it to a quarterback.
Tyreek is doing it, and also don't forget on Lamar Jackson.
I would love to see them give it to Tyreek Hill. I would love it. I think it would. I think it would be great and well deserved. I just don't see it. I just straight up do not see that award going to anyone other than.
I mean, the last time it was awarded, wasn't not to Calvin Johnson when he broke the record?
No, he didn't get it.
No, he didn't get it. Who was the last guy?
The last non-MVP to win. The last non-quarterback to win MVP was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson. Right, 2012, 2013.
A wide receiver never won an MVP.
Dude.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we had a kicker. We had a kicker win MVP, but not a wide receiver.
Vinatieri?
No, actually.
No. It was during. It was during the strike. It was during a strike year. It was
okay.
Yeah,
yeah. Mark Mosley. Mark Mosley, only kicker to ever win MVP.
Would not have known that.
It's one of those. It's a technicality because they played like 3 games and he won.
That's funny.
And it was like, and they gave it to the winner of the play or something. It was just it was. Yeah,
that's funny. But I can definitely see the argument though. If whoever plays on Sunday between Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, the winner of that definitely lead. I would say definitely leads in the MVP race. I agree. Between those two individuals, I don't know if I could say that even Jalen or Dak should be above Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, for MVP at the moment. Lamar's doing his thing, but I can definitely see where you're getting at. They're definitely two of the guys. I mean, Dak should be in the MVP conversation.
I was with you about a month ago, and then these last 3 weeks, both of what Hertz has been doing in clutch situations and what Dak's been doing with numbers has put
Dak's
them
numbers
above
are
and
nuts.
beyond.
Dak's numbers are crazy.
Dak's numbers are incredible.
Before we do move on from this game, I do want to talk about the last play because Seattle had a chance to go down and win the game. It was against 4-down territory. They were driving. They had the last chance. They do a play action run in which they leave Micah Parsons unblocked. I'm just like, I saw them just like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why on earth would you leave the best player on their defense unblocked? It made no sense to me. So okay, and we've had two dropouts already. So Mike, back to the two of us.
The original.
The original. That's just started. We'll get them back in very soon. Bottom line, this is a great performance by Seattle. Didn't go their way. Probably the best losing performance from a quarterback I saw this week from Geno Smith. He was really great. There's Lando.
Yeah, I would argue that, and I would also argue this was the best Thursday night game we've had all year.
Oh, 100%, not even close.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Thursday night games are trash. This was a good one.
They are.
This was a good.
Oh boy, don't get me started on this coming week, but we'll get there later. Up next is our unwatchable game of the week.
Oh.
So there were a lot of contenders for this week. Surprisingly, a lot of contenders for this week. Ultimately, though, we landed on the Chargers versus the New England Patriots. Now, before we say anything, let me just preface this: the weather in this game was atrocious.
Yeah,
it was not good. However, in the modern age of the NFL, in which the forward pass is a thing, we don't expect to see games end 6-0. Especially when you have one of the best QBs in the NFL in the game. And this is the funny thing about the Patriots right now. The Patriots in their last 3 games are going to have 26 points at total, and they've lost all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
McCorkle Jones
awesome.
was officially benched. Bailey Zappi was brought in, and we see that now we know why Bill hedged his bets so hard on starting Bailey Zappi, because he might be worse. He might be worse than McCorkle.
He doesn't have any Mac does not have the best arm in football at all. Bailey somehow is worse. I don't get it. They also they're down all their top receivers at this point.
What top receivers?
Patriots probably maybe with the exception of the Giants. I don't know. One of those two teams has the worst receiver core in football, and it obviously is showing more so on the Patriots side.
The Patriots have
They're
the worst
terrible
roster
when it comes to that, and then they lost Stevenson. Yeah, and Stevenson going down. Stevenson is their best offensive player, period. And now that he's down, what the hell does this team have?
I'm enjoying watching the Patriots lose.
Oh, all of us are.
It's beautiful. So I have nothing to complain about. This is Thanos with the thing with balance. This is balance.
Something should be.
This is balance. I love it.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
We did live long enough to see the Patriots become a poverty organization once again. However, I sincerely hope Brandon Staley does not look at this game and think suddenly he's a really good defensive mind, because he's not.
No,
he's not. The Patriots are just that bad.
Khalil Mack took the lead in sacks, though.
Yes, he did, which is odd to say in 2023. Khalil Mack lead the league in sacks in the year of our Lord 2023.
Return of the Mack. Well, we're out here.
I wish I had that ready.
When do we get to the fall of the Chargers? There was a time.
What do you mean when? We're at the fall of the Chargers,
bro. I'm just saying, it crept up on me really quickly. I didn't expect it, because there was a point in time where I was looking at Justin Herbert, when
did we?
Yeah, exactly. Is when did we start? When did we hit this point? It was just not long ago. We were looking at Justin Herbert, you're a top 6, top 7 quarterback.
I would still give him that designation. I still think he's top 6, 7 quarterback.
And the Chargers have the weapons, and then they didn't, and then they did, and then they didn't, and then now you're putting up 6-0 against one of the worst teams in the New England Patriots I've ever seen. It's I thought it was a bad game.
A terrible game. And this is a Chargers team that has Khalil Mack and has Joey Bosa and has Derwin James and is still an atrocious defense.
It's terrible. Both rosters are awful. It's bad football. Just bad product.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to fuck with my audio real quick.
Yeah, there's like internet issues going on. I don't want to talk too much.
All four of us with issues tonight. Yeah.
But okay, I guess it's just us. But so, no, it's just funny to think about the time that we're in. Just 2-3 years ago, Chargers were competing for the crown, and then the Patriots were once this mighty dynasty. Now they're, to me, what I used to consider the Browns and the Bucks being back in 2010. Like they're not interesting to me. I don't care for them.
The Patriots
not sure if
to watch.
Not sure if you tackle this, Mike, but the reason I think the Chargers are so bad right now is because they had when Herbert started, they had a bad coach, Anthony Lynn. It somehow got even worse.
It got
with
worse.
Brandon Staley.
Yeah, it's awful stuff.
Like you got a defensive mastermind who literally cannot defense, and it is killing this team. Despite the fact that, like you said, the talent is there. The talent is there.
Eric Bieniemy should go there next year.
Eric Bieniemy would do really good things there,
and do his thing.
That's not bad, actually.
He should do it. He has a great quarterback to mold. Because he's not staying in Washington.
I think he does.
You think that new ownership keeps anybody? I think they start from scratch.
I think they fire Rivera.
Yeah, that's the one.
I see him fire. I see them clearing house.
Well, we'll see about that, but maybe, possibly,
and a name change back to the Redskins.
No, you can't do that. Let's
go.
Something better. Something better than the Commanders. Next game we're talking about is the Detroit Lions versus the New Orleans Saints. Look, Detroit came out hot in this game, and I feel like there's a lot of frustration from the Thanksgiving game in which they got upended by the Packers. Again, thanks, Moon. But here's the thing about Detroit. With the lead, they get really skittish, and it's bizarre. Like, they jumped out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter. And after that, the offense kind of stalled. The defense allowed the Saints to roar back. This game, again, on paper, looks close. It should have been anywhere near this close. And Jake is back.
I have moved.
Not at all.
We can tell.
Detroit should have, ran away with this.
They should have.
And, the big thing with this one, watching that game, Detroit, like you said, they came out on fire, and I felt bizarrely for Detroit, they never take their foot off the gas, and it almost felt like they did in this game. They became complacent around halftime. They obviously came back at the end of the game and found their footing and stuff, but this was not a typical Detroit game. Sam Laporta gets all the love in the world in this game. I think he's actually going to be my Stonks player of the week with what he did to raise Detroit to that win. If you watch that game, Sam Laporta was highly instrumental for that win.
Laporta played great. Again, he finished the day with 9 receptions for 140 yards and a TD. Kyle Pitts watches this, and Jimmy Graham, who's caught 2 passes this year, both of which are touchdowns. Kyle Pitts is watching these performances seething in anger. Because that could be me, goddammit. I know it.
Kyle Pitts is being disrespected.
He is. That entire offense is being disrespected.
Yes, he
is. Free that man.
Free Pitts. Hashtag free Pitts.
Free Pitts.
But yeah, what also helped is the fact that, look, you can say this either helped or hurt the Saints, depending on where you fall on this guy. Derek Carr went out of the game with a concussion. One of several starting quarterbacks. One of several starting players to sustain an injury this week. I like Derek Carr too.
I like Derek Carr.
I like Derek Carr. This season, not so much.
He's in the wrong scheme. Like this is not the right fit for him.
No.
Granted, I don't think Pete Carmichael's scheme is right for any quarterback, college or otherwise, or professional or otherwise.
I am not. When I say that we need, if they're going to stay with Derek Carr next year, they have to get a new coach. You cannot. It's either one or the other. And at this point, a new coach is better than just ripping the Band-Aid off and getting a brand new quarterback. So unless someone big falls to you, if someone falls,
but who's it going to be?
Exactly. There's like 7 teams in the top 10 who need a quarterback.
I don't know, man. Maybe I feel like Derek Carr for the most of his career has been severely undervalued. And
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. Like Derek Carr,
I don't think he's a bad quarterback whatsoever. And honestly, I think if he was in the right scheme with the right players, you're looking at another Justin Herbert type of a player with Derek Carr. Like he's another top 7, top 8 quarterback, in my opinion.
The problem I've got with Derek Carr is it's not a problem with Derek Carr specifically, because I actually do think I agree with you.
Carr was awful.
No, again, he's gone into the wrong systems every single time, and it's just constantly hurting his career.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's never had a coach who believes in him. He's never had a team that believes in him, except for 6 weeks, and then they fired that coach. So,
he was the guy Devontae Adams wanted to play with, and that's what I know.
And it's a Raiders team with Rich as the coach, with Devontae Adams, scares me. That actually would have scared me last year. But
honestly,
he should be at the Raiders now with Antonio Pierce.
I was about to say, I do wonder if Antonio Pierce is like, "Hey, yo, let's bring him home.
Go bring homie back." Yeah, for sure.
Bring our boy back. Bring our boy back.
I love what Antonio Pierce is doing with Las Vegas.
I will be shocked if the Raiders make that same mistake again. I think we are literally seeing the same narrative play out, and he is getting the chance at a do-over. Unfortunately, it cost him a quarterback. Now, it might not have. They might be able to get him for nothing, but the Saints can also play hardball. Derek Carr might also be like, "No, you guys have fucked me over, and I don't want to go there."
How long is Derek Carr's contract in New Orleans?
3 years.
2 more years. Yeah.
2 more years.
Yeah.
But they have Saints have an out. So they do have an out if they want.
I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
But on this game, Detroit offensively firing on all cylinders. Again, they played one excellent quarter of football. Rest of the game, we'll talk about that. Well, we're not going to talk about that. But we do know that this team, when playing inspired, playing with that fire under their ass, they're dangerous.
Look, I think they're very clearly 4th in the NFC right now. But they're 4th.
Yes.
They're Seahawks haven't overtaken them. Packers haven't overtaken them. No one's overtaken them yet. But they're very clearly 4th. I think what's going to be, I think they can win a playoff game, but they have to get the right matchup. If they get an unlucky matchup where it's like Seattle or Packers, I could see one of them upsetting. But it would be an upset. It wouldn't be they wouldn't go in as underdogs.
They're likely playing one of the, at this moment, they're likely playing one of those 2.
Yeah. Moving on to our next game. Sorry, Mike, you got your boys up again. The Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets in the game that alarmingly was not an unwatchable game of the week.
It was close. Mostly it would have been.
It was close. Funny stat from this game: the Jets now have more first quarter safeties than they have first quarter touchdowns.
I'm not going to lie.
Go. Yeah, I was going to say, this is the thing with the Jets. It's like this defense is legitimately top 10, maybe top 5, if they could just get off the field for more than 35, 40 minutes a game. The beginnings of every game, their first quarter, they don't score, but they also don't give up much. And it's just, this defense is just on the field way too damn much.
I'm legitimately mad at the Falcons because that could have legitimately been one of the single greatest scorelines of all time with 2-0. So fuck you, Falcons, for ruining that. But
look,
yeah,
Desmond is bad. Desmond Ritter's bad, but he's not that bad. And funny enough, Desmond Ritter might have been the worst quarterback on the team this day, on the field in this game. I know it's saying a lot, but it might have been. He might have been.
And yet
Tim Boyle wasn't
he's
good.
not the one who was benched.
No, Tim Boyle did get benched for Trevor Siemian.
Not only did he get benched, he subsequently got released. Yeah, he is no longer on the Jets. And,
oh, damn, did that happen?
Look,
yeah, it
Yes,
happened
it did
today.
happen.
I missed that.
And who they signed? Brett Rippon?
Look, I'm sorry.
It was Rippon that they signed. I did see that. Yeah.
We can kind of talk about this game, but there's a larger story that I actually think is bigger. There feels like there's a civil war coming inside the Jets organization. There's the Aaron Rodgers side and the non-Aaron Rodgers side, and it seems like it's starting to brew. And it's real fascinating. This is
Bates already trailing the Lions 14-0 early in the first quarter. Here's Cordero Patterson. He always runs hard, actively trying to get the tight ends involved. He wants to spread this defense out. They're down at 10. Ritter in trouble. Down he goes. Jermaine Johnson gets up and celebrates. Phillips, number 34, rookie out of Utah. On second down, Boyle connects with Cook out of the.
Chance, you muted.
That was me. Okay, I had to figure it out. Wherever that was coming from, it's on Larry's end. It's on Lando's end.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, you were saying
It was on my end?
it was. Because I muted you, it stopped.
I just have your stuff up.
That's so weird. I'm not sure where I was coming from.
That is wild.
That
is wild.
The Zach Wilson doesn't want to play anymore story, and then to have Salah come out and go, no, no, I don't want him to play. Like, it's just the most bizarre, awkward, embarrassing. It's the Jets. That's what it's the Jets. I'm sorry, Mike, but it's the Jets. And what was meant to be this incredible, amazing season with Aaron Rodgers got completely destroyed within four plays, and we're now seeing the consequences of it. And I think it's to the point. I joked at the start of the year Salah could be gone. He could be at this point. Salah could be gone.
I like Salah though.
I do too. I like Salah. I just think this whole thing has been nothing but embarrassing and a complete and utter disaster. The GM's got to go.
Joe Douglas needs to leave.
Yeah. So here's the thing with it. Like right now, there is reports that they're basically just washing this season away, and this is what's coming internally from the Jets camp, that they're not going to do any of that. I agree with you. Joe Douglas got to go. I don't know about Salah. I think Salah he's just in a shitty situation. He really is. I don't blame
the season on Salah.
Yeah,
I don't either, but I don't blame Salah, but I could absolutely see Douglas throwing him under the bus to save himself.
It's really hard to do that when it's national news, though, that the Jets were supposed to be much better with Aaron Rodgers, and he's not in charge of those decisions. Yeah. You know,
it's Douglas who needs to, like, if they're going to get rid of either of them, it's Douglas. I just want to say real quickly on the Falcons front, the Falcons and the Jets are very similar in that they both have pretty good defenses and underachieving offenses. And the Falcons are in a situation now that they are potentially in the playoff race. Right now they are in the playoffs. This team will get stomped if they actually make the playoffs. This is like the worst playoff team I think I've ever potentially seen if they make it.
Well, right now they're playing the Cowboys. More than likely, it will be the Cowboys. I don't think, even if Cowboys win on the weekend, it is highly unlikely they're still going to win the division.
They're not going to.
But it's this is we're at it. That's the big that fourth seed game is going to be huge. And then it becomes. This is why I keep saying the number two seed this year might be the better seed than the first overall, because you don't have to play both of them. You only have to play one of them.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Unless there's a big upset with the Lions. Unless the Lions lose, then you have to play both.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But either way, Falcons. Congrats. I guess. I don't know.
That was a terrible win.
It was. And again, Arthur Smith continues to be a moron by not using. They have 4 first-round picks on their offense, and they don't use any of them.
It's absurd. It really is absurd.
Arthur Smith needs to go. Okay. All right. Fine. Up next, the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go ahead.
Cardinals are good.
I will cede the floor.
Kyler Murray looks good, man.
James Conner revenge game.
Yeah.
Dude.
Pretty much, there's not I'm going to be honest here. There's not a lot I can say about this game, in a sarcastic manner or in a trash talking manner. This was a Cardinals team that came out that was motivated, a Steelers team that was flat-footed to begin with, and then by losing Kenny Pickett, who they got their upgrade, they went back to Mitchell, so they got their better quarterback in, and
no, I'm not gonna laugh sarcastically. No,
the Steelers couldn't do anything in this game. Watching this game, this was actually a tough football game to watch. Even on a sarcastic level, the Steelers were just flat in this game. That's the best word I can use to describe them. They did not do anything on either side of the ball that impressed me. The Cardinals came out and just played with more heart, beginning and end of story. That's why they won the game.
Yeah. Now, the very lucky thing the Cardinals have is they're highly unlikely to win another game this year, because they go 49ers. The Bears, they might, but they'd be idiots to it. If I'm them, I just put the cue in the rack. Just nope, Bears, congratulations, win another game. And then Eagles and Seahawks. So they're unlikely to win another game at this point. However, if they do, they've cost themselves Marvin Harrison Jr.
They've cost Marvin. Yeah, exactly.
That is the unfortunate part about this side. Steelers, look, Mike kind of said it. There isn't really much ribbing we can do for this one, because, TJ Watt didn't play great, but he always plays great. He had a bad day. Pickett got injured. If Pickett didn't get injured, I'd be probably doing a lot more ribbing. But because he got injured, it kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, and that's the downside. So look, they started off offensively. Started off okay. Started off fine. It came down to it was like a 4th and 1 on the goal line. Sorry, third and goal on the 8th, and Pickett got injured. And I've seen this movie twice before. Whenever Pickett gets injured before the half, and Mitch has to come in, we lose. It happens every single time. It's just look. I know. Look, say what about Pickett. We are in much better hands with him than we are with Trubisky, as it goes to show, because Trubisky played hard. And look, it's not all on him. The defense didn't show up. The team on the whole didn't show up. And this is a Steelers tradition where we have this team that we should crush without even thinking, and we somehow mess around and lose the fucking game. That's what happens. It's the most annoying, infuriating part of being a fan of this team.
And it also didn't help that because you were down early, the weather really didn't help. The stop-start nature of the game doesn't help you get momentum back to try and come back. So that really didn't help either.
Yeah, I think like the delay holds like an hour and a half.
Yeah, like this game went well into the 4 o'clock, the late slate, and it just like I don't know. This game wasn't fun for me. Like I love ragging on the Steelers, like that, and this game just wasn't enjoyable from even that perspective for me. It was just like, all right, just get it over with, kind of like, because it just seemed inevitable once you got to a certain point in this game that the Cardinals were going to run away with it. The game got out of hand almost.
Yeah, it's not just Pickett's that we lost that day. So Landon Roberts hurts, groin injury. Don't know how severe that is, which means we've now basically lost our entire inside linebacking core that we started the year with. Isaac Siamalo, our guy starting guard, also went down with a shoulder injury. Gonna miss some time as well. So, yeah, we're kind of undermanned right now.
It's going to be interesting because next week you play the Patriots. So a Patriots team with Mitch Trubisky, I think you're going to be okay. I think you can win that game.
I think I saw this movie last year. Granted, they're worse this year. They are worse this year.
The Patriots are bad, but I think the Patriots are I think they're very keenly aware they don't want to win games right now. With where they're at, they're very keenly, we don't want to win games.
I am actively looking for something to do on Thursday night rather than watch that game.
Yeah, well, I'm a masochist, so I'm going to be there for the entirety of the game.
The game that you have to be concerned about that Pickett's could potentially miss is that Colts game. That's the one you got to be concerned about. Because that's now a playoff team.
That's a playoff game.
Yeah, that's potentially a 6th seed or a 7th seed tiebreaker game, and that's the concern. That is a concern for the Steelers with Pickett being out, because I think you can win next week with Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if you can against the Colts.
Yeah, I mean the defense is going to need to really show up that week. But moving on from this game, we do. Landon's a little short on time, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit in the show because I do want to have him on talk about San Fran versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So before we go, Lando, what's been your impression not barring this game? What's been your impression so far of the Eagles team this year?
My overall impressions of the Eagles leading up to this game is I need my heart medicine whenever I watch them play. Right.
Welcome being a Steelers fan.
It's the most cardiac event inducing time in my week. The 4 hours that I have to watch the Philadelphia Eagles on my TV. Now, I will say this. I think the team is really, really good. And I've always thought the team is really, really good. I feel like our offensive and defensive coordinators, both being in their first year, have definitely they just need more work. I don't know if they need more work. I don't know if they're the right guys or not. I don't want to be too early in that judgment. But I feel like there's some issues on the offensive coordinating, play calling specifically with the offense. AJ Hurts is taking. I'm not sorry. AJ Brown is taking way too long to get implemented to a game. If he could be implemented to the game, I feel like there's a large disparity between us doing 3-yard screens and also 15+ yard post routes. I don't feel like they were attacking the middle to the extent that we should be. We seem to have a lot of success between 8 to 11 yard, outside post route, outside hinge routes, whatever that may be. But we're not taking those chances. I feel like there's just some issues, and I feel like there's some clicking issues. I feel like we have a run game that we don't utilize nearly as much as Devontae Swift. And then on the defensive core, our defensive line, I think, is unrivaled in the game, but our cornerback positions are severely weak. But yet they find opportunities to win games. They close games, and they have the resiliency factor. They have that it factor. I feel like over the past few weeks we've been getting really close, and I knew our number was going to be pulled at some point. I'm glad that it was the Niners that did it tremendously, because we need that going into Dallas next week. I mean, there's also something to be said about 3 games in 13 days, which they just had to do. And they're also 3 huge emotional games. as opposed to, I've already been saying this. Every team that plays the Eagles is bringing their best game. Every single team.
Because you have to with that team. You have to.
You have to. You're getting everyone's A+ performance. So when I see the stat of our defense is ranked 20th in the league, I don't care about that stat because we're getting everyone's A game compared to when everybody else plays everybody else.
And that's a solid defense.
It's a solid defense. I just feel like Slay, he's like Trayvon Diggs. He gets burned. He'll come out for the occasional play, but for the most part, if you pick on him, he'll get burned. Bradbury's okay. I feel like the Eagles have always been a 9.2 out of a 10. 9.1 out of a 10, if I'm giving it a ranking, as far as being great. But right now, the 49ers are playing like at a 9.5, 9.6. They're playing damn near perfect. They're the best team. I mean, and I think we've known for a little bit they're the best team in the NFL when everybody's working. Everybody's working right. And Debo is a killer.
Absolutely.
When
And look, the thing is, good.
I'm sorry, when everyone's healthy, the 49ers are the best team in the football. I just need to, and we kind of saw it a little in this game where the 49ers were down by 6 points in the first quarter, and then we got to see Brock try and have to come back a little bit. But I need to see him do it in the second half and not be when everything is just going perfect. Because that's the only fear I have for the 49ers is what are they going to be like when everything isn't going perfect? We saw that for the 3-game stretch. This my big concern for the Eagles has always been their secondary. It's always been my concern for the Eagles this year. I think, and also you're right. They've got the 13. The 13 in the 3 games in 13. I bet it's a fair. It is fair. I think it's more it's the 4 games in a row of massive emotional level, and that's what more did it because they went. Everyone forgets they had the Cowboys game that went down to the wire. They had then the Chiefs game that went down to the wire. The Bills game went down to the wire. Now take it back a few more weeks, just 2 or 3 before the Cowboys game. We had the Dolphins. Before we had the Dolphins. The Dolphins you annihilated. They annihilated.
Well, yeah, we annihilated them, but at the same time, at that moment, I believe the Dolphins just had the 1 loss, right?
Yeah, no, it was a big game, but it was more. What I'm more getting at is that these are games that have come down to the wire. Emotionally, you are spent, and and
it's hard to get that going every week.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's why I do think the Cowboys are going to win next week because I think emotionally, this they have just gone on this gauntlet. Now, luckily, their last 3 games are the fucking easiest ones in the world.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be real interesting. Look, I still think I think the Eagles are going to have the number 2 seed. I think 49ers have the number 1 seed, but then I think that's going to help the Eagles. It's funny enough. I actually think it's going to be a positive for them. So, yeah, that's where this game was. Brock played really well again, but, I think I could play quarterback decently on that team with all those weapons. So,
I think any quarterback minus Trey Lance for some reason can do well in that system.
Exactly.
I just call it what it is.
And I think that the irony that Mac Jones would have a fucking career if he went to the 49ers is just hilarious.
He would have fit that system so well.
He would have fit it so. It would have been Georgia. It just would have been Georgia all over again, and he would have fit perfectly. I know Eagles were technically Georgia, but it would have been. It just would have fit so perfectly for Mac Jones.
The Eagles also did something following this loss, as I'm assuming a response. They did something that I didn't expect them to do, and that they're continuing to add. Shaq Leonard who was a free agent, he cleared waivers, has now signed with the Eagles, which
look,
a lot of question marks around Shaq Leonard. But if Shaq Leonard still got it, which he very well could, I think he could. He might. If he still got it, that make our deadly weapons even deadlier.
That's now true. Risk-free. They've had 2 losses. They're both losses after both of them.
Get 2 big signings.
Gone on and made a big move.
Yeah.
Ski mask Howie, man. Ski mask Howie.
So what's going to happen next week? Why does mine do it? Why is mine the only one that does it?
Okay,
I don't know.
I was going to roll out real easy, but I can't keep on having you saying we're going to lose to the Cowboys. We're not losing to the Cowboys next week. Okay, it was a tough week this week. These Cowboy games is different. Okay, it's all we got. This is our Super Bowl. We can't lose to it would be nice to give the Cowboys a loss in their house.
Sweeping the Cowboys would be nice.
Put it this way:
if the
Eagles win this game, if the Eagles win against the Cowboys, they're the number 1 seed. If they lose, they're the number 2 seed. It's that's where it's going to end.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. It is very fair.
Because the 49ers aren't losing another game in the regular season.
Brotherly shove every play.
I genuinely do want to try that for an entire drive. Just see if you can get down the entire field.
Every play.
When they play the Giants, just do it.
Are they gonna add the brotherly shove to Madden?
I hope so.
Just like how they have engaging.
It'll be banned before they can. It'll be banned before they can.
Man, they shouldn't ban that play. That's so pussy.
Getting banned.
There's no reason to ban that play.
Which I hate. I have come around. I hated the brotherly shove. I have come around on it just out of pure.
It's so exciting. I don't know why they say it's not exciting football. I get excited. I get so amped.
Who cares?
You know it's gonna happen.
You know it's coming. The defense knows it's coming. It's the best play. It took the excitement of the kickoff. Now that they've butchered the kickoff sucks now. I used to get so excited for the kickoff. Now, brotherly shove. I'm engaged.
Every time you see 2 guys line up behind Hurts' ass, you just like, oh shit, here we go.
Anytime I see it could be 2nd and 1. I'm like, oh, I know what play they're calling.
It's coming.
I need to see them. I want to see them start doing more of the fakes. I like the fakes. More of that, where they fake the brotherly shove, and everyone just goes, "Oh, they're doing it," and then he throws it. I want to see more of that. Of just, oh, you have no idea what we're doing.
The fake was dope. Now I have Hurts on about 3 fantasy teams. Every single time I could be walking around the mall, I get an alert. Jalen Hurts rushed for 1 yard.
Yep,
Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown. I know exactly what play we call.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man. It's so wonderful. 92%. Is it still 92%?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Maybe higher.
My bad.
But Roger Goodell is punk enough to.
Goodell apparently doesn't like it, which again I'll believe it when I see it. But
that means we should keep it. Anything Roger Goodell likes, we need to keep. I mean, anything we need to get rid of.
Anything he hates, keep it in.
Exactly.
The problem you've got is 30 of the 31 owners do not like it, and that's the problem you're gonna have.
But Lando, sorry your time got cut short, but thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you at?
Hey, they can find me at the Lando Project on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, Pornhub, all the stuff. I'm out here, just doing it live all the time, man. You know what it is. Appreciate y'all having me.
First Pornhub plug we've had on this show, so thank you.
Hey, that's what the Lando Project's about, man. It's about being the first, plugging it in any single time we can. You know what I'm saying? Going big all the time, going hard all the time. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, brother. All right, peace out.
I love you.
Love you, Lando.
Right. Moving on to our regular programming, we have what I am dubbing our game of the week. This is the Colts versus the Tennessee Titans.
Oh my God, this game ruled.
Because this game was. Look, because this was going on when the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cardinals was on a weather delay. So I turned this game on. Holy crap! Like when you have a blocked punt for a touchdown followed by a pick two.
Pick two, yeah.
we had injured punters, missed field goals, overtime, helicopter tackles.
what was going to happen next. Like, you did not know what the hell to, like, everything that happened in this game was nothing you would have expected. And that's what made this fantastic.
Yeah.
This game pissed me. Like, I loved this game. I thought it was fantastic, but it also pissed me off because it was the only game that that didn't give the Bills the perfect bye week. We had the perfect bye week except for this game. If the Colts lost this game, we would have had the perfect bye week. But because they won it, you know, we still had a very, very good bye week. But this was the one game where it was like, God damn it, we could have been perfect.
Yeah. Minshew played like a man possessed.
This was back to the Minshew Mania days. Like, this game was very reminiscent of the Jacksonville Minshew days. And
this harkens back to a time where I wanted Gardner Minshew on the Steelers, and not gonna lie, I kind of still do because I'd rather have him hit a backup than Mitch Trubisky.
So I'll say this: like in the What the Show Fantasy League, I have Minshew as my starting quarterback after a lot of shit happened. I have Minshew and Browning, and we're gonna get to that. I had Minshew and Browning as my quarterbacks this week, and just had the most phenomenal fantasy week with these two guys.
Good for you.
And
finally,
Minshew, I love watching Minshew. I don't care what anybody says. This dude just is all heart. He like. If you watch Ted Lasso, he says, be a goldfish and just forget if you did something wrong. That is Gardner Minshew to a T. He will go out there and fumble the ball or throw an interception, and then the very next play throw a 60-yard touchdown or run a 10-yard, first down, whatever. Gardner Minshew is great for the NFL. That dude is
100%.
Great. How do you not like this dude? Like, I don't care what team you root for.
Here's what I want. Here's what I want in the future. I want a Gardner Minshew biopic, but I want them to treat it like the Weird Al Yankovic biopic.
Yes.
With Daniel Radcliffe, where you make it like insane kind of parody, and you just make him like this, like make him. Here's what I want. Like, make him like Joe Exotic on the football fields, and make that movie. I will make that. I'm in film school right now. I will make that movie. Gardner, call me.
I'll be your grip.
But like you, man. I love Gardner Minshew. I fuck him hard.
I love him. Who doesn't love him?
But Gardner Minshew can never go on a genuine bona fide contender because if an injury happens, that's not who he is. He has to be on someone like the Colts.
We saw that last season.
Exactly. No, he has to be on someone like the Colts who, and again, it really hurts. This year, I think, has been the worst possible year for the Jets. I'm sorry. I'm just going to rub this in even more because, again, Joe Douglas. Why was Zach Wilson your backup?
Minshew would have had them at 7-5 right now. They'd be 7-5.
They'd be the Colts. Honestly, they would be the Colts right now. Like, it's just, this Colts team's pretty good. They're gonna make the playoffs. Like, they're making the playoffs at this point. I'll be
saying they're making the playoffs.
That is wild.
I don't know if they would have made the playoffs with Richardson. Honestly, I don't know that they would have.
No, I don't disagree with that. There's a very, very real chance 3 teams from the worst division in football make the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
No, false. NFC South. NFC South. Second worst.
Second worst division in football. But going into the season, it was called the worst. So, there's a real chance that the South has 3 teams in the playoffs.
And I if the Colts make it, at this point, I have no stakes without the Jets there. If the Colts win the Super Bowl with Gardner Minshew, oh my God, that would be the best story of all time. But it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen.
On the Titans, real quick though, look, they did the right things. They got Derrick Henry was rolling. Will Levis had a pretty solid day passing. D-Hop got involved. They just did. Funny thing is, if Nick Folk made an extra point, they win this game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Do you know who cost them this game?
Ryan Tannehill.
Yep, still Ryan Tannehill.
from a
right. That's kind of where he's finding ways to.
Yeah,
because the punter, the holder for good.
The ball was actually placed correctly, but the timing was off.
Yeah, that's because the punter Ryan Stonehouse was injured. I don't know how the punter gets injured, but it's just
he got
something that happens.
Well, when you get
he did get rocked.
Yeah, when there's 2 blocked punts in a game, I can kind of understand why.
Yeah. Ryan Stonehouse, who's the usual holder, got rocked, so Ryan Tannehill had to sub in, who I guess held extra points in college. And that's the mentality. Like, okay, well, fuck, we got nobody else. So Tannehill, do your thing. And yeah, just timing was off, and Nick Folk ended up missing the kick.
Yeah. So, Chance, maybe you said Steelers Ravens was going to be the Sunday night game?
It could be whoever the Colts are playing.
It could be Colts, right? It could be Colts Texans. It really could be Colts Texans.
Yeah, it really could.
Yeah, possibly.
Especially now, if we don't know the extent, but if a certain quarterback is injured and they start falling, that could be for the division.
Yeah. Next game we're talking about is it's not nearly as exciting just because it was an absolute ass stomping of the highest order. The Dolphins versus the Commanders.
This was exactly what you expected.
Yeah. Look, this is look. We got a good standout performance last week. No, wait. I'm sorry. No, we didn't. He played like shit last week too. The Commanders have now dropped 4 straight. This is now the 3rd consecutive week in which Sam Howell has has thrown a touchdown to the opposite team. It's the conundrum. It's the conundrum of this. I really wish we had a certain person talk about this game with us, but that's what we're afforded.
Terry McLaurin, goose egg.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin got paid to do cardio for 4 hours.
Genuinely shocked we didn't wake up to the Rivera news. Really genuinely shocked that he wasn't sacked on Monday, because they've gone ding, 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 ding. And then I would have thought, hey, we're going into the bye week, give Bieniemy 2 weeks to get the team prepared. I would have thought that would have been that we would get that was Rivera done. But well, we'll see how he does after a bye. But at this point, just you may as well let it go for the rest of the season. Yeah,
look, may as well, you're already here.
Talking about the Dolphins again. This is who the Dolphins are. They're high flying when everything's going right, when everything's going perfect. They are one of the hardest teams to beat, and they're going to be incredible. I just need to see now that my internet's actually working, I can't give Tyreek Hill MVP. I would love it, but I can't, because I need to see him do it against a real defense.
Yeah,
he hasn't yet.
Here's the thing with Miami is like Miami has crumbled against competition this year, and I think they're going to finish with they're definitely going to be a top 3 seed in the AFC. I don't know. I don't see them making the AFC Championship. I honestly don't.
Oh God, no. I've been saying since week 4. I've been saying since the Bills loss, this team's going to lose the wild card weekend, because they're going to play a real defense week 1, and that's going to be the upset. They're going to play a real defense week 1. The single scariest team they could play are either the Steelers or the Browns. Guess who there is a real chance they're playing? Steelers-Browns.
Steelers or the Browns.
Yeah,
so not much inside on the comments about them sucking once again. And Dolphins, once again performing really well against a not great team.
Yeah, 100%.
Up next, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Houston Texans. And look, the Broncos are playing really well with the past couple of weeks. That form was not present here, and that is partially on the back of Russell Wilson. He didn't play particularly great this week.
The new.
I know you were glad that's back.
I do want to just be a little behind the scenes. Maybe 5 seconds before Wilson threw the game-ending pick, Chance goes, message the group was just like, so you ready to say that last year was just the aberration? And then bing, pick right in the head. It was so perfectly timed.
Yeah. Look, he had a bad game, but I still stand by that he's been playing really well this year.
I do. No, I agree with you there. I think Russell Wilson has been playing better this year. I think it is I think much better. This has been the biggest indictment on Nathaniel Hackett in the entire world.
You want to punish Kenny Pickett so badly for Russell Wilson? What did Kenny Pickett have to do with anything?
Sorry, that was an accident.
Russell Wilson last year was a big indictment on Kenny Pickett. Fucking how?
This is a massive indictment on Nathaniel Hackett. Sean Payton, well done. That defense has started to come back as well after the 7-point drubbing. I don't think the Broncos are making the playoffs. I don't think they're a playoff team. But I think that they're building. The positive is Wilson's played himself back into a job. Unfortunately, he's probably not going to get a decent O-lineman, which is what they desperately need. So, because there's about 10 teams in front of him that need an O-lineman. So, that's kind of where we are with the Broncos right now. I think they're too good this year to get a decent draft pick, but not good enough to actually make the playoffs. And they're going to be the Falcons.
They're in no man's land, firmly in no man's land. They're going to be in that 13 to 16 overall pick, which is where you don't want to be. And no, I will give the Broncos credit because after what happened last year, and last year was an unmitigated disaster, they've shown steps in the right direction. Peyton's brought them back. Obviously that drubbing to the Dolphins aside, they actually are showing that they are a legitimate team. But the other side of the ball is where you have to look. It's like the Texans are the Cinderella story of the league.
Oh God, yeah.
They are.
Now, the unfortunate aspect of this story is Tank Dell looks like he's out for a while.
He's another one that fell down.
He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Now, the Tank Dell injury obviously hurts. This team, shockingly, with before this season, receivers you never heard of, has a great receiving core. And this game in particular was the Will Anderson, I'm Will Anderson game.
He was a wrecker in this game.
Game wrecker. I think he was like, hey, you all forgot about me because of Jalen Carter and everybody. I was the number 3 overall pick for a reason.
Yeah, the Cardinals right now are going, damn it, I wish we had that pick back. I really think the Cardinals are sitting there going, oh, we made a mistake. I get that next year they're gonna have a second first rounder and they need it to be able to help.
It's gonna be in the 20s.
I know. It's not gonna be high, and the type of player that you gave up Anderson to get, what are you going to get? I don't know.
I said at draft night, I thought that trade was brilliant on the Texans part, because how are you going to get something better than that? They literally got arguably the best defensive player, obviously Carter's there, but with that trade, you got somebody who is better than any defensive player in this upcoming draft. So they immediately won that.
Yeah. But this is a game that, again, with this and stuff that happened later, Houston is very much in a position to continue to win their division, which is quite fascinating. So it's going to see how this Houston and the AFC South in general progresses next year.
With what we're about to talk about with Monday Night Football, it could happen.
Yeah. Let's talk about up next the Carolina Panthers taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game actually became my Stonks player of the week, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. First player in NFL history to start his career with 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
This now puts him just 4 behind Jerry Rice for the all-time 1,000-yard season record.
But here's the thing, and Mike Evans, everyone goes, I've heard people go, yeah, but he had Brady for 3 years. That was it. He had for 5 Jameis fucking Winston, and we have seen Winston on other teams right now. Like,
yeah, for most of his career, he dealt with Jameis Winston, Mike Glennon, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
This dude is like legitimately one of the best wide receivers of this generation, if not ever.
Yeah, the fact that like he can do it, like again, I firmly believe Mike Evans is gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like he is, again, he may not have the accolades, but like the fact that you can put up 1,000 yards with anybody throwing in the ball, like that's he's one of a kind.
It's honestly just heartbreaking that he's still on the Bucs. Like, could you imagine him on a legitimate contender this year?
Imagine him on the Chiefs right now.
On the where?
Yeah,
on the Chiefs with Mahomes.
Oh God.
Like him on the Chiefs, they would be unstoppable. Him on the Ravens right now, oh my God. Him on the Cowboys. Him on, I mean, the Eagles don't need him, but like, do you know, like him on any of these legitimate contenders would be sitting here going, damn, he'd be getting a Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
Another one.
Yeah, absolutely. On the other side of the Carolina Panthers, though, pain continues, and with this loss, this does make them the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs. Say la vie, Panthers. But yeah, and look, Bucks probably gonna be joining you very soon, but still in firm grasp of this garbage pile of the division. But yes, Panthers, very predictably, first team to be knocked completely out. Next game, Cleveland Browns versus Los Angeles Rams. Now, there is a time in which Matt Stafford versus Joe Flacco would have been primetime television. Now it's where this was.
But the Rams played well in this game. Like the Rams, they have a chance still. They're not out at this point. And if they
the impressive thing about the Rams in this game is the fact that they were but Matt Stafford had a really great passing day against the best passing defense in the entire NFL.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's still pretty clear Garrett is still injured. That they brought him back a little too early. Like he shouldn't have played this game. Like I get why, because after everything they've gone through, they need him out there. But Garrett's still hurt. It's pretty clear about that. Flacco, I thought was admittedly
fine.
I didn't watch a whole lot of this game. I do want to admittedly, I didn't watch a whole lot because I was watching the 49ers Eagles.
I watched this out of pure investment because I needed Cleveland to lose, and thank you, Rams, they did.
No, actually, we turned this one on in the last quarter because it was like, oh, it's close, and the Eagles game is a fucking disaster. So, yeah, we changed over at that point. But I didn't watch a whole lot. But from what I saw, Flacco was playing pretty well, and I thought they were playing decently. But yeah, it was just one of those. Somehow this is going to be two playoff teams, and Rams might be a playoff team, but
I think they will with their remaining schedule. I think they will.
It's gonna really
with receiver god Puka Nacua on their side, nothing's impossible.
Always stunks.
Yeah, Parma stonks Puka Nacua. I will say I don't know a little bit, but there was a good bit where Myles Garrett might want to play without a helmet. Like anything, he has back here in helmets. Where there's a bit where his helmet got stuck onto another Rams player's helmet. It's like a Madden glitch in real life. It was fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we also got our patented Joe Flacco arm punt, which you can't have a Flacco game without at least one of those.
Yep.
And yeah, because of this loss and because of some other things that happened, Pittsburgh is now still in number 5 position in the AFC wildcard race.
Ready to get killed in the first round.
Well, compared to given who they're playing right now, given who they're playing right now, no.
I mean, that would be. I still think you're murdered because I think Patrick Mahomes gets into field goal.
We don't have Mahomes right now. We don't have Mahomes right now.
Oh, you do.
Oh, right. No, yeah, that loss.
We have Jacksonville.
Yeah, that loss. Yeah, you
we have
probably win that.
CJ
Actually. Steelers win that. Right now, Steelers win that game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, that's again. This is actually not a poorly played game by Cleveland, but yeah. Do you really trust Joe Flacco in the long term? I certainly don't. Not in the year of our Lord 2023. Up next, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, let's talk about our upset of the week. Sunday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs going to Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers. I didn't realize the first time Patrick Mahomes actually played a game in Lambeau.
Yeah,
it's like the only stadium he hasn't won in now, I think.
Well, and that continues because look, okay. So I'm gonna give you 3 quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Kenny Pickett. One of these guys beat Jordan Love, and it's not who you think. Somehow. Look, I'm not sure what happened, but the Packers came to play in this game. I'm not sure if this is us underestimating the Packers or us overestimating the Chiefs.
No,
but either way.
The Packers, this has to be credit to the Packers because they played a hell of a game. Like they did, like both sides of the ball. Jordan Love, I think I would arguably say that was the best professional game he's played. Like, it wasn't like
it's up there, definitely up there.
It wasn't light up with the world numbers, but you're playing against Mahomes Chiefs. Like Jordan Love showed up, and that defense played really well. And this team, the Packers on paper, should not have been even remotely close in this game, and handily won this game.
No, they did, and the defense really showed up. They got Mahomes sacked in the red zone 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have never seen that happen. Granted, that's only in the first half. They didn't get a single sack of Mahomes in the second half of the game.
Look, so one, they've kind of taken the training wheels off Jordan Love a little. They've actually gone, throw the ball. We're going to let you throw the ball, and I'm going to give LaFleur a lot of credit for that he's actually started to trust his quarterback a little bit. And the coaching staff are allowing these kids, because they're a very young team, to make mistakes and play like they're making mistakes.
The youngest team in the NFL.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting. Like, they're allowing them to play through their mistakes and get experience and learn. And I think that is a big deal. And that's well done on the floor. And I think that's right now, this win has guaranteed both of them not a contract, but like another year. No matter what happens, they could lose the rest of their games and miss the playoffs. This win against the Chiefs, they'll be like, we saw enough. You're our coach and our quarterback next year. I think that is the one big.
Well, Jordan Love's going to be there regardless.
Is he?
Yeah, he signed an extension.
When did he sign? Oh, just the 5th year.
Well, no, it was in lieu of the 5th year option. This is like a different deal. It's not technically a 5th year option, but they did give him another year.
Fair enough. I never saw that. But that's at least they're guaranteed. Like, they're going to be there next year. This was huge. This is a huge win for the Packers for just that. It is a big. Oh shit! This weekend's game for the Chiefs is huge now. It's huge, absolutely massive against the Bills, because if they lose that game, suddenly that number 1 seed is pretty. They win it, they're basically guaranteed the number 1 seed. They lose it. They're in jeopardy. They're in real jeopardy for that number 1 seed. So the Chiefs, concerning in receivers, again, it's what we've been saying all year. But I think the big takeaway from this game was the defense didn't turn up.
Here's a legitimate question. Legitimate question with the Chiefs. What do you think of the Chiefs throwing their next 2 firsts at the number 1 or number 2 pick for Harrison?
I would be so furious.
It would take a lot more. It would honestly,
their draft choice is. I mean, 2 firsts is great, but like considering it's the Chiefs, That's not going to be a great position.
It's gonna.
So this year plus 2, so like technically 3.
Oh, 3 first rounders.
Like this year's
honestly,
plus the next 2.
In all honesty, it wouldn't be worth it. If you're the Cardinals, it wouldn't be worth it. It would be Chris Jones and 4 firsts. You want it? That would be where that is my starting point. I'd want a player. I would have to get a player. Absolutely. Like,
yeah, we'll trade you 5 first for Taylor Swift.
Or that. I would pay. I would kill to see. No, I would kill to see them to trade Kelsey. I would kill to
That's
see
not
them.
happening.
I know it's not,
but
my God, could you imagine?
Oh my God,
the drama that would cause.
Oh, Missouri would riot if they traded Travis Kelsey. But at the same time, like, I've been concerned about the Chiefs since the beginning of the year. I'm now really concerned because, like I've been saying, you put them against a half decent defense, that offense is not showing up in the way that we expect a Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs team to do.
Here's my thing.
Mahomes,
I
know it's still Mahomes, but like Mahomes is not being Mahomes this year.
Yeah,
I disagree. Mahomes is being Mahomes. His receivers aren't getting separation, and his receivers aren't catching the fucking ball. I think Matt Nagy is the big problem. I like Matt Nagy. People aren't talking about that. They're going, what's wrong with the receivers?
Because Andy Reid's still the play caller. That's the reason they're not talking about Matt Nagy.
I know, but Matt Nagy is
the OC. No, I get it. I don't disagree. I'm just saying that's the reason not being brought up.
Yeah, and I think that is a huge difference for this team because we're seeing him not develop as well. I don't know about Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to develop, but he still needs a really good coach with him, and that's where I'm concerned. Now, look, I'm not massively concerned about the Chiefs because one, it's Patrick Mahomes. And given what the AFC is this year, there's certain ones where it's who are their competition realistically going to be this year now?
Baltimore.
Baltimore, how much do you trust them in the playoffs?
If it's the thing, I don't know if they've seen I don't think see Baltimore go up against a combination like this though. Like the AFC is as much talent. It's I feel like they're super talented, but they're so talented that it's depleted because everyone feels at an even level. Dude,
the Titans beat MVP Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
This is still that, and I would say Lamar isn't playing like MVP Lamar right now. He's playing very good, but they lost Mark Andrews. That is a huge loss. Like the Chiefs are the one who haven't actually lost a major player. They've just
something I do want to talk about this game real quick because my not stonks player of the week, the refs within the last drive, because the last drive, it's funny, like the refs screwed the Packers and then turned right around and screwed the Chiefs right back. So we can't say it wasn't fair. Because
honestly, that is a genuine old-fashioned makeup call.
Like 100% because the refs called the Packers for unnecessary on hit on Mahomes, which was absolute bullshit. Like he was inbounds, he did not give himself up. He wasn't in the middle of a slide.
Illegal.
That is 100% illegal hit. They followed that up by stopping the clock with a pass that MVS caught it. He's trying to get out of bounds, but he's going backwards, which by rule of law that should not have stopped the clock, which they did anyway. But then the refs, okay, fine. We screwed up. We're gonna make it up here. There was a blatant PI by Simone Biles' husband, I think.
That was a good old fashioned Rams Saints PI, blatant PI.
Yeah, and once again, like with Rams Saints, that was not called. Which I've been like, okay, I saw like, okay, fucking refs, you're giving the game to Mahomes again, and then they do that. I'm like, okay, fine. So there's the makeup call. Fair enough.
Yeah, and that's what it was. That was a genuine old-fashioned makeup call. It had to be. It's the only explanation of, yep, we fucked up, so we're not going to call that one. And then they called the rest of the game fairly decently. Like I know it was only like 3.
The remaining 30 seconds, yes.
I know. Like the remaining 3 plays, like there was no like. They tried to bring up the PI on the Hail Mary. I have never seen a PI be called on a Hail Mary ever. I don't think we ever will get a PI called on a Hail Mary because that's what it is. It's a Hail Mary.
There's too many people. It's too crowded to like throw like one PI.
Yeah. You just can't. Like the closest you get is offsetting penalties.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yes, the Chiefs do end up losing this game. And like I said, again, Jordan Love's weird. Like you look at the teams he's lost to versus the teams he's beaten. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Dude could not beat the Josh McDaniels led Raiders or the Matt Canada offensively led Steelers, but he beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. He beat the Chargers with Justin Herbert's, and he beat the Chiefs in prime time. Like that's just it's bizarre. I don't understand it. Finally, Monday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on. That's not right. Hold on. I never did change this. I gotta get the name right. But anyway, it's the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a game that we thought would be over pretty easily, considering that Joe Burrow is now after Manager of the Year. But holy fuck, Jake Browning.
Wow. Stonks Player of the Week, Jake Browning.
I can't argue that, actually.
Like Jake Browning came in and had literally the best performance by a backup quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, he was incredible. I'm sorry, he was genuinely incredible last night. Fantastic, absolutely insanely good. Like there is no other way to describe it. He was
holding Jake Browning at 10 looks a little more impressive now, doesn't it?
Now what it does do is what it does do is go, can the Bengals go on a run? I don't think so, personally.
I don't think so either, but wow, what he did was super impressive. This game cannot be understated how impressive that game, what he did was. Like I said earlier, I had him on my fantasy team, and my team, who was projected to lose by 40 points, won. And he's largely instrumental in this. What he did last night was unprecedented for someone of his stature. I don't know if this is sustainable, but if it is, can you rule them out?
Yeah. Look, Jacksonville. Was that good?
So next week they go to the Colts, then the Vikings, which again, they could beat the Colts. They could beat the Vikings. They could beat the Steelers. I mean, if the Chiefs that turned up last fucking night turn up, they could win that game. And then, then they play the Browns on Sunday night to make the playoffs, maybe. But they have to be perfect, and that's where it's I don't think they will. That's why I just don't think it will happen. The one positive is they're playing the teams they have to beat. So
they control their own destiny.
They'll get tiebreakers. That's the thing. They've already got the tiebreaker over the Bills, which is the big one they need. They've got a tiebreaker now for Jacksonville. If Jacksonville fall off, they've now got that tiebreaker. So they've got the tiebreakers that they need, and then they can start going in and winning. Because what we said at the start of the year of, oh man, they're losing these divisional games. The divisional games won't come into it if they're going in for the wild card and they're trying, and they've played head to head against all of them. So that's where it's going to be interesting for the Bengals.
Yeah. I will say, Jacksonville, you want to look, you had a lot of problems this season. You want to look as to who's to blame for your shortcomings right here. I firmly do believe that Jacob ended up cursing you by putting so much stonks, I should say, into the Bengals season. And secondly, I will say though,
Jags season.
Sorry, the Jags. Yes. Secondly, I will say though, someone who was very close to being my not stonks player of the week, and he would have been had they lost the game. Tyler Boyd.
From the 25, this is Boyd. That's behind the line of I believe the throw, and he throws a pick. Intercepted by Josh Allen.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
It's not.
That's not the first time I had to make that clip with Tyler Boyd.
It's not as bad as the Mac Jones, as like the Patriots one, but it's fucking close. It's real close.
I actually think this is worse. He threw it straight to him.
The Mac Jones one I can at least, which actually wasn't Mac Jones, but like that one I can at least go.
Joe Myers is worse in the fact that it lost them the game.
Yeah,
but in terms of execution, I think this one's worse because I can see what Joe Myers was thinking. Tyler Boyd threw it straight to him.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. And then they go down and score a touchdown on that drive. So, man,
again,
and that one was the
Bengals lost the game. Tyler Boyd's the most hated man in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that one and like that touchdown, man, that touchdown was so just typical Trevor Lawrence of just like, oh yeah, right, the tall lanky dude's just gonna put his arm over. It was such a good touchdown.
Speaking of T-Law, though, Jacksonville, if you do you want to die yet? You might, because now Trevor Lawrence is potentially out the rest of the. Okay, I think it's a high ankle sprain, which still puts him out for several weeks. Problem is, these are several weeks you need to win in order to cement your place in the division. So you let these games slip, you could be on the outside looking in this January.
So the positive they've got that Jags have. They have the tiebreaker over the Colts, and they have the tiebreaker over the Texans right now. That's the positive for the Jags. There is no way in hell. He could be 95% healthy. You are not playing this week against the Browns. You would be moronic to play against that pass rush. No way in hell.
Fucking Myles Garrett would kill you.
Yeah. Then the Ravens.
And then beat you with your helmet.
The Ravens one's I wouldn't play him.
Yeah.
Agreed. The positive you then have is Bucks, Panthers, Titans. They are 3 very winnable games.
Very, very winnable games, yeah.
And you've already got the tiebreak. So that puts you realistically, that will put you at 11 wins. 11 wins gets you into the playoffs. The only way it doesn't realistically is if if Colts go on a 5-game winning streak, and then the Texans also can't do, but like they can't because they both play each other. So
Jacksonville somehow managed to drop this game. Very well easily could have been upset of the week if it wasn't for Green Bay the other night. But that's going to do it for our week 13 recap. And now we look forward to week 14 as well as stunks or not stunks. On a bye this week, we have the Carolina Panthers. We have the Arizona Cardinals. Carolina Panthers just feel like they're on a perma bye week. Let's be real. The Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Commanders. Mike, you got stunks duty this week. Up in that Thursday Night Football, we got the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is funny though, when Amazon is trying to build to promote the game, they could pick a player to put on the graphic. They put Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Honestly, Bill Belichick has done more damage to the Pittsburgh franchise than any player could right now.
This is a really great night to go see The Boy and the Heron. Really, really great night to go see The Boy and the Heron. That's exactly what I'll be doing, and will not watch a single snap of this game, most likely.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers in like a 3-0 game.
Very real chance we go from the best Amazon game to the worst. Very real chance.
I still think the Steelers slightly, like, I don't trust Trubisky, but I really don't trust the Patriots offense. So, like, this is going to be like one of the worst.
I don't trust Trubisky, but I trust Bailey Zappi much less.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those stories of man, why don't they start Zappi? Oh, that's why. That's why Jones still has a job.
So let's go stunks or not stunks. Ezekiel.
No. We know how this works. First of all, we're not there yet. I had not spoken my piece. All right, goddamn it. Look, we gotta beat the goddamn Patriots. We exercised the demon of Tom Brady last year. Now it is time. Look, I firmly feel like losing the Steelers is going to be the last nail in the coffin for Bill Belichick, just because it's a team that he has perpetually owned his entire coaching tenure with the New England Patriots. And look, as the Steelers, we need to liberate ourselves of the chains that is New England. We beat Tom Brady last year. Let's end the regime of New England in Pittsburgh. And as you know, Mike, I don't give a fuck who's running. I don't give a fuck who's running stunks. Everyone on the Steelers stunks, even you, Trubisky. Anyone the other team not stunks. Moving on to our Sunday slates. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
Another really bad game on paper. I kind of lean right now towards Tampa. I think that their offensive playmakers are going to make the difference in this. I trust Baker slightly more than Desmond. I think Mike Evans will actually do really well in this game. I got Tampa winning, but it'll be close.
I'm trying to check the stats. Anybody see Chris Godwin this year?
No, unfortunately, because he's on one of my fantasy teams.
Trying to check. I mean, he's been doing like okay. I feel like it's just like a bunch of okay performances, and like I don't hear from him very often. Look, if Arthur Smith could use his offensive weapons properly, like they should be able to beat Tampa no problem. But Arthur Smith is not a serious man. So I'm also leaning Tampa. I want to be Tampa just for the pure chaos, because like what the hell happens if Tampa wins this game? Are they like within striking distance for the division lead? I'm curious, but I got Tampa also.
I'm gonna go Tampa, but God, this is gonna be an awful game. This is gonna be a real awful game. Yeah, I probably won't be watching a lot of these early window slates because I will be driving. So yeah.
All right, Mike, what you got?
All right, so stunks or not stunks? Let's go with the aforementioned Kyle Pitts.
Not stunks. Until he gets a new coach or on a new team, look, I love Kyle Pitts. I think he has the potential to be one of the best tight ends in football. But he has to do that anywhere else.
Anywhere but Atlanta.
Yeah, he has to get on another team, or Atlanta has to get a new coach. Somebody who knows how to use him, and somebody who is aware that he exists.
Yeah. By the way, my gambling has officially stopped. I went 4-1 last week. So yeah, I'm not picking bets this anymore.
How do you go 0-4-1? How do you tie?
I had Patriots +6. Plus 6. Patriots +6.
Oh, so okay, fair enough.
So yeah, pushed. Yeah.
All right. Up next, the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears.
This is Detroit all the way. Like I don't see any. Yeah, there's no other scenario here. It's Detroit.
Yeah, agreed.
The only reason they don't is if they get smart and go, we don't want Bears getting Marvin Harrison. So,
so stunks or not stunks, DJ Moore.
Not stonks. Oh, actually, no. Against that Lions defense right now, I'm going to say stonks.
I think so
I
too.
say stonks. I think it could be the only player on the Bears offense that is stonks. Up next, battle of the backups: Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm taking the Colts in this one. I think Minshew is going to will them to victory in here. This actually could potentially be game of the week. I think this is going to be exciting Like this.
I don't think this will be game of the week. I think it'll be a fun game, but yeah. I think this is that nice little early window palate cleanser for the day of get people excited for the day, because I think there's some really good games coming later in the day. I'm gonna go Bengals. I think Bengals win this. Browning. I just think Jamar Chase and Browning. Jamar Chase again shows why. It's not just that he's not just great because of a Joe Burrow. He is a fucking amazing receiver.
He's the man. Yeah.
I'm actually leaning Indy on this one. I cannot with complete confidence. I know Gardner Minshew what he's capable of. I am not fully convinced that the performance from Jake Browning was not a mirage. So we'll see how he performs again.
I think it's a mirage. There's no way in hell he goes 350 yards again. I think he goes about like 120, 130. I just think that's going to be enough.
So I don't know if that is though, because like I think the Indy can like really overpower you on offense. So I'm leaning Indy.
Let's go stonks or not stonks. Josh Downs.
I would say not stonks. I think he prefers throwing to Pittman and also Pierce. So, yeah. Up next, another battle of the backups. Funny enough, Jacksonville Jaguars versus Cleveland Browns. C.J. Beathard versus Joe Flacco.
Give me the Browns on this one. I agree.
Yeah,
That defense against Beathard.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Beathard. You're about to be murdered. So yeah.
R.I.P. C.J. Beathard.
Yeah, stocks are not stonks. Let's go Kareem Hunt.
Ooh, that's tough, actually.
I'm going to say
I'm leaning not stonks. Let's see. Battle in the NFC South. Carolina Panthers, who now officially have nothing to play for anymore, versus the New Orleans Saints.
Except fucking over the Bears. Sorry, they do have something to play for, which is fuck the Bears over.
Even if they win, don't they still the number one pick?
Yeah.
No, they win. If they win a game, Patriots get the number one pick.
Oh fuck. God.
Because of that Texans win.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I still got the Saints.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick the Panthers they're gonna win one game. I'm gonna pick them every week now, except unless they play like some massive guy. I think they can beat the Saints.
All right, so stonks.
I hope you explain why.
Stonks, not stonks. Chris Olave.
I don't believe in that. I really just do not believe in the Saints at all right now. I just don't think they're a good team at all.
With famous Jameis throwing the ball. Honestly, he might be stonked, but a lot of it might be stonked. He might be stonked by mistake. He might be stonked by accident.
I gotta say, not stonks.
Mike, what do you say?
Olave?
Yeah.
I think I like Olave. I think in this game, I like him.
Again, I'm saying stonks purely by accident. Up next, the Houston Texans taking on your boys, Mike, the New York Jets.
I got the Texans in like a 20-6 kind of score.
Yeah, I'm really curious how Stroud's going to go against a really good defense. So, but again, we'll see. They're a really good defense for a quarter and a half, and then they just start going, well,
we're done.
So,
all right. we did
Anderson's going to have 2 sacks in this game. I'm calling that.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say Texans, but yeah.
Stonks or not stonks? Nico Collins.
Stonks. Wait a minute. I might hit bet on that stonks because I feel like he's going to draw a lot of attention. With no Tank Dell, he's going to draw a lot of attention from Sauce. So,
well, here's the thing with Sauce that people don't. A lot of people don't realize they play zone. So, like, it depends on which side of the field they line up on. They're just going to line them up against DJ Reed, I think.
All right. Well, yeah, depending on how much. Again, I'll still say stonks, but if Sauce is on him a good amount, it could be tough.
Yeah.
Up next, the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This actually could be a lot closer than we think.
Yeah, I think
it's up to an extent, but I don't think the Rams defense is going to hold up enough against the Ravens right now.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens, but yeah, I agree. It could be a bit closer than we think, but I don't. I think the Rams. I think the fourth quarter of this will start to get a little bit away from the Rams.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm also leaning Baltimore on this one.
So let's go with Odell Beckham for the stonks or not stonks.
I actually like him in this game. I'll go stonks.
Yeah, I'll say stonks.
It's a revenge game.
That is true.
Yeah.
How dare you get me a ring, you bastards? Up next, Minnesota Vikings versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
This is one of the closer games for me this week. This is one of the toughest ones for me to pick. I kinda slightly lean the Raiders, but this is gonna be close.
I'm gonna go Vikings off a bye. That's the only reason is that Dobbs will be able to have worked a little bit more.
Well, I mean, both of these teams are on a bye.
Off a bye. No, I know that, but like I think Vikings off a bye would like. I know they're both one, but I think Vikings off a bye would be better. So I'm gonna go.
Fair enough.
So stonks or not stonks, let's go with Jordan Addison.
I like him in this game. Stonks.
Yeah, stonks. I think Jefferson will get a lot of the now that Jefferson's back on the field, though he'll get a lot of the attention.
Yeah.
Let's see. A matchup we literally just saw a few weeks ago. Seattle Seahawks versus San Francisco 49ers.
I got the Niners winning this. I don't know if it's going to be like a beatdown, but they're going to win this handily.
Oh, it's gonna be ugly, like an ugly.
I don't know. If Seattle comes out playing like it against Dallas, it could be close.
I don't think so.
But no, I've got 49ers.
Yep. Easy.
Ditto.
So stonks or not stonks, let's go with Zach Charbonnet.
Isn't he like doubtful right now?
So both running backs are, but they're saying he's the more likely to play.
Either way, not stonks.
Yeah.
Jacob, time for your weekly heart attack. Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Again, this is a must win for both sides. It's a must win for the Bills because they lose this game, their season's done. This is a must win for the Chiefs because they lose this game for the first time ever in Patrick Mahomes' career. He may actually have to play a road playoff game, which I
got the Chiefs just based on defense. I think this is a close game.
I'm going Bills off a bye. And that's the only reason. Okay. That is the only thing. Plus, Chiefs got a little bit banged up on the weekend, so I'm going to go.
Quick question though. I want you to just visualize this. You look at the clock. Fourth quarter. There's 13 seconds left. Who's got the ball?
Better be fucking Bills.
if it's the Bills, then I got the Bills winning. The Bills better have the ball 13 seconds left. I swear to God, they better have it. This is actually really, really tough. I could see the Bills winning this. You know, I'll go with you, Jacob. I'm leaning Bills.
So with the Bills in mind, let's go with Khalil Shakir.
Ooh, Shakir. Interesting.
He's like the third string wide receiver at the moment.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm aware of Shakir. Imagine Gabe Davis in this game. So I'm going not stonks.
I'm going to say stonks because that defense is really good and I think Diggs has a pretty poor game. So yeah, I'm going to say stonks.
What do you say, Mike?
Ooh, I'm going to say not, but I think he's going to do okay. But when it goes to going if it's good or bad, I lean slightly on the other side.
This was a clown bowl last year. But this is now half a clown bowl because Brandon Staley still has a job. The Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Chargers.
I think the Broncos win this game. I don't think I would have said this a couple weeks ago, but right now the way they're playing both teams, this is the Broncos.
You have no evidence of this. I agree.
Oh, Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, given the way the Broncos have been playing, given how badly the defense for LA has been, not you, Herbie. You're still great. And also Quentin Johnson, who might be executed at the end of the season. Yeah, I think it's Denver all day. Actually, it is funny. I'll talk about Quentin Johnson real quick. Holy crap, is that looking like a miss right now? Again, granted, he could pan out in the future, but my God, is it looking bad? Considering literally
the way that
every receiver drafted after him is doing considerably better.
Let's take a look.
I don't actually think it's Johnson's fault. I think it is poor coaching.
So let's take a look at Jerry Jeudy for stonks or not stonks.
I say stonks. This pass defense is horrific. It's still horrific. So yeah, I'm saying stonks.
Sorry, I lost my audio again.
Jerry Jeudy stonks or not stonks.
I think he still has lost. He's still lost his.
Oh, it's just us now. Kenny Pickett is the worst quarterback that has ever been drafted in the first round.
What else? What is our next game? Oh, it's the Sunday night game. Oh, goody.
Right. I'm just going to assume we're done talking about that game. So moving on to our next slate. Sunday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Excited to watch the game.
This is game of the week. I think this will be game of the week. I think this will be a shootout, back and forth. I think this is the game, and suddenly straight afterwards, we're going to be talking Dak Prescott MVP.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning this game. The way they're playing right now, the way their defense is, the way CeeDee Lamb is playing right now, I got the Cowboys. I didn't think I'd be saying this, if you had said 2 weeks ago, but at this point, it's the Cowboys, I think.
I agree. I think the Cowboys come out. It's at home. They have been the scariest team at home this year. I'm going Cowboys, and I don't think it's a runaway like that. I think it's a back and forth, tough game.
Yeah.
What's going to be interesting is it coming down to if it has to come down to. If it comes down to Jalen Hurts has to make a play, then Eagles I think will win. If it comes down to Dak has to make a play, then I actually think the Cowboys can win.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Again. So, and actually Monday night, we now have a double header.
Yes.
One of which is the Tennessee Titans taking on the Miami Dolphins. This game's going to be fucking ugly.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Easy Dolphins.
Yes. There is a reason this is the early game of the two. Oh, they're on at the same time. Never mind.
Jesus. It's a doubleheader Manning cast where they're going to have both games on.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So real quick, who did you throw out for not stonks or stonks or not stonks for Philadelphia?
We didn't get there.
Sorry.
Let's say for that game, Brandon Cooks for the Cowboys.
Okay.
I'll go
I'll go Stonks because he's actually been the last 2 weeks he's been playing well because he's been getting me points in fantasy.
Yeah. I just recovered my sound, so sorry if I interrupt the flow of everything.
And then for this game, let's go with Tyjae Spears.
Oh, interesting. Because Henry might not play, but I'm going not stonks either way.
Yeah, not stonks.
Not stonks. Yep.
I'm not that impressed with Miami's defense, but yeah, they'll be able to stop Tennessee.
Their run defense hasn't been too bad as their pass defense.
No, they've been pretty good. Finally, Monday night doubleheader: Green Bay Packers versus the New York Giants.
Packers got this one. The way they're playing, Jordan Love is on fire. That defense is on fire. I don't see any scenario where the Giants win this game.
See, this is one of those games that I just feel like this is one of those games that just feels like an upset brewing. You've got a team that has been ultra hot coming, and look, the statistics on teams losing after they've beaten the Chiefs is insane. Like the amount of teams that lose after they have beaten the Chiefs is ridiculous. So I'm going to say the Giants on this. This feels like an upset. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to say Giants.
If the Packers beat Patrick Mahomes and follow that up with a loss of Tommy DeVito, that's going to be fucking legendary.
I could see it. I really could. And I got nothing to back it up outside of, like teams following Patrick Mahomes' win is just,
All right. And what you got for talk on this one, Mike?
Let's go with Tommy DeVito.
Not stunks. Sorry.
I also say that, yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Stonks. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to think he has a good game.
All right. And that brings us to the end of the show. So thank you all for joining us. Jacob, where will we find you at?
You guys can find me over at Twitter, Facebook, just at Jacob London, and on my podcast, Lights on Screen.
Mike, where will we find you at?
You can find me on here always, all the social networks, and on what show on Wednesday nights. Tomorrow night we have Jeffrey Kahn coming on, so we'll have some fun with that.
If I'm at Twitter, Instagram, Chance Wars _91. Check out the show by Chance, the podcast. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.